Hey, it's Doug, the retirement guy. 39.7% dividend yield in a retirement fund? Unheard of, but we're going to check it out. YBTC. We're going to find out, is this real or is this another false advertisement? YBTC. It's a Bitcoin covered call strategy ETF. This comes from the Roundhill Group, and this is the Roundhill Bitcoin covered call strategy ETF. This is the first US listed Bitcoin covered call available. So they got into this early. They're about a year old. The YBC is a new ETF focused on generating income through covered calls of Bitcoin. They implement a covered call strategy, saving investors the time and expenses of trading options themselves. As we all know, Bitcoin's a very one of those funds that just goes up, down, all over which way. You breathe wrong and it changes on you. So this is something very interesting to look at. Their distribution rate is 39.71%, and their 30-day SEC yield is 3.24%. YBTC holdings, as you can see, they're primarily all right in that US BIT and a little bit of government obligations. So they're really dialed into two areas of getting some financial from the government obligations, but really doing everything into the Bitcoin side of things. So why BTC? Well, of course, the advantages is the 39.71% return or the 3.24% on the 30-day yield. 39.71%, we have to say, is the total return over a specific period and likely includes both income and dividends, interest, capital gains, and so on. We always say this, at 39% rate, it's usually very high. It's a risky application, so it's important that we evaluate the funds as we do with every fund that we have. The 3.24% 30-day yield is important because that shows that the thing is definitely generating some cash and a positive in that SEC ratings. Now, here's the big thing you may not know of, but it offers weekly dividend payouts. And you know how much we love that here on the channel. Fast access to your earnings. You get to reinvest the potential of, if you want to take that at the end of the week, you want to reinvest it Monday morning to continue to grow your pot. Or like the retirement people, we want our regular cash flow. We want our income on a regular basis. It's like getting that paycheck each and every week. So we want to get that out of this fund. So a lot of advantages to a YBTC investment. Let's take a look at the return of the YBTC since 12/31. In 1 month, they were down 2.72%. You know, it's something that I won't throw off the hook, but you know, in the last month, a lot of things have been down. 6 months up 4.24%. Year to date, they're 3.69%. Their 1 year is 9.97, and since inception is 5.15. Now, as we post there, they didn't start until January of 25. They started doing weekly dividend payouts. That was the huge change that Roundhill decided to do. So we're going to look at this in a couple different ways. So let's take a look at the return of the investment of the YBTC. We're going to do this a little differently here. If we took $10,000 and invested it, only when we started the weekly payouts, this is what our track history is. It's been basically set up for 3 weeks so far. We would have bought it at $50.44, buying about 198 shares. In that 198 shares, at the end of the 3 weeks, we would be up $329 for a total value of $10,329, or a 3.29% increase basically over this past month. The other thing is we'd have $245 of dividend income on top of that. So our total return would be $10,574 or 5.74% in the first month. That's some impressive numbers, especially when we've seen other stocks and so on have dropped over the period of time. But at the same time, I cannot sit here and tell you that we have enough history or enough knowledge of this account to even make a positive or a negative or a call onto it, because 3 weeks is just a snap of time. So what we did something different for you is We took the return of the YBTC and separated it. Let's go back to when they first started this fund and invested $10,000 into it. Now, right now, all of these are paying monthly. And that really should not change much in how this stock performs throughout 12 months of history. So we would have bought stock at $51 a share. We would have bought 196 shares. And at the end of virtually 1 year, 12 months, our net value is $9,890. So we would have lost only 1.1% over 12 months. And that's very minimal. But look at the gain that we would have had in income. We gained $3,998, just shy of $4,000 into this account, or a 39.98% return from dividends alone. That is huge. When you tally up the little bit that we lost in our net value, plus what we gained in income, we have a 38.88% return over 12 months. That's a good track history that we can make a good judgment on and say, yeah, this is a potential good or a potential bad situation. And of course, when we're looking at 38%, I think these guys are advertising the truth, and they're showing that, we're going to pay weekly, but we have the performance behind us. YBTC summary. The stock return, and when we take a look at this, the first 3 weeks of 2025, it's returned 3.29%, which is a fairly strong number for a 1 month performance. Over 12 months, it's down 1.1%. So realistically, I will call this a balanced fund, because the 1.1% over 12 months that you lost, you would have made up in the first quarter. Even if you turn around and say, hey, every year we lose 1%. In this situation, when we get into the dividends and so on, I still think you're very strong. So we give this one a great thumbs up. Your dividend return. I mean, this is what we're here for. The dividend return in the first 3 weeks of the 2025 is 2.45%. When you look at that over the monthly payout that they used to do and do that over 12 months, you're talking a 39.98% return. So this thing gives you a regular steady cash flow that you can almost rely on. So we got to give this one a huge thumbs up. Now, when we take a look at this total stock return, and this is where everything comes out in the wash, our return in the first month of 2025, we're getting a 5.74% return, total return, including dividends. But when we take a look at it over a 12-month picture, a bigger window, we're getting 38.88%, including our returns. So your dividends makes up for the little bit of loss that you had over 12 months, but gives you a nice 38% return. So with all that, guys, I have to give that one definitely a thumbs up. Is YBTC good for a retirement account? My answer has to be 100% yes. And I'll explain to you. The net asset value, or the NAV, is really even over 12 months. So we're seeing fluctuations in the sale price of the stock, but overall the value is maintaining its steady course. You get regular cash flow, and like I said, you're looking at 38.8% over the first year of this fund. So it shows to me that you get a steady cash flow, you're not losing your value. So things are looking out very strong if this was in your retirement account. Now, something else I did for you here is if you invested $10,000 and you're getting a $3,880 return at the end of the year, your return on your investment, or your ROI, is only 2.5 years. So what that means is in 2.5 years, you would have received enough dividends that you could take your $10,000 that you initially invested, pull that back out, put it in your pocket, and you would then be living off of the $3,800 a year off of house money. So you have nothing to lose. So to me, this is why this would be a strong one to put into a retirement account, is you got great cash flow, you got a return on your investment fairly quickly, only 2.5 years, and right now the value has stayed the same. So I hope you guys like this. I like the information. If you do, give us a thumbs up. If you have any comments or likes or dislikes of what we're talking about, leave them in the comments. We'd be more than happy to respond back to you and get your opinion on this. And best of all, if you don't want to miss any of our videos, hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel grow. And we're doing this to help you grow your financial rewards. So happy times in retirement. Again, Doug, the retirement guy. We'll see you next time.